Hi, welcome to Minnesota Music Mom. I'm Karen Davis. I didn't get a video done last week, and I'm sorry. Hopefully that doesn't happen very often. I am going to continue out of the book that I've done the last couple videos from, and that is the book titled Organ Music for the Church Pianist, Practical Service Music and Tips for the Emerging Organist. It's published by Lorenz and compiled by James Southbridge. The song I would like to play today is called O Word of God Incarnate by Janet Harris. And this one does have pedals. Now, if you feel more comfortable using, not playing pedals and playing that with your left hand, that's fine. This book has everything on two staff. And so there's some books that, or many books with pedal have a pedal staff. And so if you're not familiar with it, that might throw you off a little bit. But this book is geared more towards people that are not familiar with the organ or just starting out with the organ, pianists. So they have it on two staff. Also, at the end of this book are examples or exercises that you can use for pedaling. They have an article about getting started at the organ, the pedalboard, hints for pedaling, and using both feet, using the heels and toes, finding the keys, practice tips for pedaling. So if you're looking for a book with examples or exercises and hints and tips, and also songs, some with pedal, some without pedal, this is a nice book. The song I'd like to play today is 3 pages long, and it starts with 3 flats and ends with 2 flats. All right, that was O Word of God Incarnate. And as you see, I have quite a few notes on here. I don't know how you do it, but what I started doing is writing the date that I use the song, because I used to think that I played songs over and over and that people would get tired of it. And I realized once I started writing dates on here, on the songs as I use them, that I really wasn't playing them all that often. It just seemed like I was, because maybe I would pull it out to practice or something. So for me, it was sounding more familiar, like I was using it, but really I was just playing it in practice. And for the actual performance, I wasn't using the songs as often as I thought I was. And it's helpful just to have the dates down there of when I've played the songs. I can tell, if I do play a song, maybe a favorite song, if I play it a little too often. And so I'll have the dates written down. It's like, yeah, I better not play that one. I've already played it quite a few times. The other thing you might have noticed too is up in the corner here, I have the setting. But you'll notice I have numbers. I don't have the titles of the stops. My mom taught me this. It's kind of hard to read when you're trying to switch settings between songs if your automatic little pistons here on the bottom, there's pistons on the bottom of the keyboards. I don't know if all organs have them, but this one does. And so you can preset the preset keys and little buttons. And so you can preset your setting for the next song, so that you don't have to stop in between and reset all the stops and then play the song and then stop, and everybody's, there's silence while you're resetting the stops for the next song. There's buttons down here that you can pre-program the stops for the next song. But for a while, these pistons didn't work when I was younger, and my mom was an organist. So what she taught me to do is we would count the stops from one end to the other, and when we wanted to write the settings on the song, instead of writing, well, we got Gedeck 8, we got Gamba, Gamba Celeste, another Gedeck, Tremolo, Swell to Swell, instead of writing all those names down here, then we just wrote the number. So I don't know, just as a little tip, if it's helpful to you. So I know that I can count from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and match it up with the numbers that I've got here for the swell keyboard, the great keyboard, and the pedal. And then what I do also is I circle the keyboard on this particular setting that I have as the main or as the melody. Now, depending on what the setting is, that's going to switch. Maybe on this song I'll have a completely different setting, and I'll have the great as the melody. Well, then on that one, I'll circle the GR for great, so that I know that if I'm using that setting, the great manual is going to be the melody and not the swell. So just a little tip, if that's helpful for you. All right, this song again was out of Organ Music for the Church Pianist, Practical Service Music and Tips for the Emerging Organist. Some of the songs in here have pedal, like the one I just played. Some of them don't. Also, the songs that have pedal, you can play with your left hand instead of using the pedal if you feel more comfortable, because this is two staff. It has the pedal in the second staff. It doesn't have a separate staff for pedal, so that's a little easier than to use if you would rather not use the pedal and would rather use your hands. And then there's also exercises and lessons at the back of the book. So, well, I hope you enjoyed the music, and we'll see you next time.